Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis, and it's New Comic Book Day. Yay! New Comic Book Day. If you can't tell, I'm sick. I've been sick. That's why you didn't see me last week. I was sick, and I've been sick for more than a week. I'm on the healing side of that. I don't have quite the excited vocal range that I normally do, so you have to bear with me. There will be a comic book roundtable this week. Hell or high water, even if I lose my voice and I have to show up and do sign language or write messages or whatever, I'll be here. I think Damien, Sleepy Reader 666, he'll be with me. We'll see if we can twist Jen's arm and see if we can get her to come on and talk comics too. Anyway, this is the books I got for this week. It's an incredibly small pile for me. It almost feels like I didn't even get comics because I only got 11. As opposed to the 22 or something I got last week, which I didn't even do a video last week. If you really want to know what I got last week, you can jump on Twitter. My Twitter handle is _gaunt_man. Someday I should actually change that to Oddville's Thoughts, probably. At any rate, you go there. I did post a very quick, video of what I got, as opposed to doing this because I literally had no voice and yellow and green mucus was shooting out my nose and all kinds of ugly stuff. Anyway, let's jump right into the comics. I am going to be dropping Wonder Woman. This is Wonder Woman issue number 64. I am just not excited by Wonder Woman. And this is the second issue of the second arc. And I really wasn't feeling it with the first issue of the second arc, unless this one just blows my mind. This weekend, I will probably order my comics, and I don't plan on putting this on my poll, unfortunately. As much as I want to enjoy Wonder Woman, it has been very pedestrian. And I'm getting to the point to where, excuse me, that I am busy enough in my life. My new job, as I keep talking about every damn video, keeps me a lot more busy. I do not have the quality free time that I used to have. So I'm clearly not going to quit reading comic books. I love comic books and I love talking about comic books, but I need to get rid of the things that I'm not that interested in reading, and I just don't have time. I don't have the time to spend on mediocre books that if some way it doesn't tickle my fancy, and it just being Wonder Woman isn't tickling my fancy enough. I guess. So, yeah. That is that. Goddess Mode, issue number 3. Vertigo book. I really enjoyed issue number 2. Get more into this whole cyberspace mythical realm that these characters operate in. There's some living AI type things in this cyberspace that are potentially controlling everything. Possibly, some of them are being eaten. There's this threat of that. Our main character is basically, just kind of wants to live her life and earn her corporate, she's a corporate wage slave. She just needs to earn her money so she can pay for her dad's care until something better comes along. And now she's kind of saddled with this whole, she can physically drop into cyberspace, basically, and operate there in a magical kind of way. And she has encountered these friends that can do the same thing, and they're kind of a unique thing unto themselves. And what that's going to be about, not 100% sure, but I really dig it. I dig the Robbie Rodriguez art. The coloring by Nunez is just this brilliant coloring I really enjoy. And Zoe Quinn's been writing some cool characters. So I did not care for the first issue of Gunning for the Hits. Not even sure if I'll actually get around to reading issue 2. Depends on how busy I am. Yeah, don't have anything to say about it. Sex, Death, Revolution, issue number 3, coming out from Black Mask. Mags writes this. Mag Vizgardo is the writer on the book. Winterschmidt is the artist. Boy, there's a lot of names in the front of this. I don't remember there being that many names before. Anyway, so it is a magical book, a magical reality book. It's got a coven, something potentially sinister happened at the coven. These people can actually write magic and affect things and whatnot. If you like Wicked and Divine, the story idea behind Wicked and Divine, you might like this because it has some of the same sorts of elements. Not saying it's written the same way, but as far as story idea, has some of the same sort of elements in it. It has this wonderful trans woman in it, and her change is part of this whole thing. It seems, don't 100% know, but yeah. I was interested in the first two issues. I'm continuing to be intrigued because I'm not doing curious. I'm doing intrigued to see how issue 3 turns out. Issue number 2 of Criminal. The Criminal is back. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips on this. I see the other Phillips is not credited to be a color or on the cover. I will tell you, I enjoyed the first issue, but I do think that the coloring affects the book. I don't think visually it has the same quality that it did prior. And I don't know if that's the colorist itself or the choice of how they are choosing to color it. I think it is not as strong because it's the same color palette. It's the same idea of how the book was colored in the past. How these creators' book was colored in the past. It just is not, in my opinion, colored with the depth and breadth of how the book was colored in the past, or books by these creators. I should say this book, but books by these creators in the past. It does not have. It's like the same idea, but it's missing. If you picked this book up and held this book, say, next to the Fade Out or Kill or Be Killed, the most recent book by them, you'll just see where it's almost trying to be the same thing, but it clearly does not hit the mark, in my opinion. And I think it takes away. For me, it takes away from the book. It's a good story. It's interesting. I'm wanting to read it. I want to see what's going on. I want to know what happens to this, people paying their debts and all that. But I'm just not as excited visually to be looking at the book. It's a bummer. 998 Detective Comics, Hellbat and Hellfire. So, it's got the demon in it, which will be cool. Tomasi and Mankey driven book once again. There have been story elements to the way Batman has acted in this that I find weird. So I enjoy lots of parts of it. I enjoy the detective part. It's just Batman's personality himself seems strange to me. And maybe it's because I've read so much Tom King Batman now, and I'm kind of gotten used to Batman acting that way, that this Batman is different. But there's some elements in here where he goes and like beats up people in Arkham and stuff like that just to me didn't make sense for Batman. Super excited for Gideon Falls. Issue number 11. Is this the end of the latest arc? Beginning? Why does it feel like it's one of the two? Really love this book. Love the Black Barn. Love Norton. Love all the different characters. Whatnot. Really intrigued by that. Where are the faces? Where's the face in this cover? All the covers have a face in it. That one with the tree that I was having a hard time. I did finally find Norton's face in that, but I'm not seeing it here. Is this two faces facing each other? I don't know. Those 5 black dots make it hard for me to see a face at all of these covers. This is a regular cover. Where's the face? Yeah. Maybe somebody will tell me. Or months from now, I'll figure it out. I don't know. Issue number 6 of House of Whispers. I read through most of the last issue of House of Whispers. I've kind of given up on House of Whispers. I get it because it's part of a Vertigo deal where I get 50% off. So this cost me less than $2 for the book. So I continue to get the deal the bundle deal as long as the bundle deal exists. Dan Waters has started writing the book. I'm almost positive he was not on the book to begin with. I absolutely love Lucifer, as I've said. So I will read this too, just to see, can I tell where his part is in it versus the stuff that's been there before. Not sure why he's reading it. I believe this issue in particular has more to do with Monday here. So I am curious. I do like that character. Maybe this will be interesting. I didn't really care for the story that had been going with the somewhat dead people and whatnot. I don't know. I just really wasn't really getting into it as much as I really want to. So, Justice League Dark. I am super enjoying Justice League Dark. I love this cover. Of course, that is Dr. Fate's helmet, but you get close and it's all of Justice League Dark, like melted in gold to make up the helmet. Bound by fate. Good old Dr. Fate. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Justice League Dark. Favorite types of characters in here, all these magic characters. I like the story too. Interested to see where it goes and stuff. So the last issue was really great because it was kind of like a one shot, but connected to the rest of the larger story. But it was like 3 or 4 small little, 3 or 4 page horror stories told through Man-Bat, kind of like he was the narrator. So it really made for kind of a really cool story. I really enjoyed it. It was very reminiscent of like the old House of Mystery and House of Secrets kind of stuff from way back in the day. So I really enjoyed all of that. So here it is, issue number 38. This is the final issue of this iteration of Ms. Marvel. The last issue of G. Willow Wilson on the book. It will be taken over by some other writers and creators in the future. And I will be getting that too. It's like the Marvelous Miss Marvel or something like that, I think is what it's called. You got to get a little more alliteration in there. I've thoroughly enjoyed Miss Marvel. It was a fabulous run. A run I would be happy to put in front of almost anybody, except for maybe the hardened dude bros. But otherwise, I would recommend this to just about anybody else. It is a lot of fun. It's a fun character. I believe that Ms. Marvel will basically be the next Wolverine. She will be the next. She is the next big, will stay around, will impact the universe, the Marvel universe type character. I do believe. So we'll see in like 10 years how close I am on that. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this ends, what the swan song is here, and I look forward to the next version of the book because I am going to pick it up and check it out because the creators that are going to be on it are awesome creators too. And finally, this time around, speaking of awesome creators, it is the Wonder Twins. This is part of the Wonder Comics line that Bendis is supposedly curating. The big thing about this is it's written by Russell, who is famously for doing the Hanna-Barbera Flintstone DC book and Snagglepuss. He's writing it, so I'm trying it out. I've mistakenly... I did not try out Dynamite's Lone Ranger. I probably should have. I'm pretty much interested in just about anything that Russell is writing. He seems to have a really good... He has something to say. I mean, I enjoy entertainment. I enjoy comic books for just pure entertainment purposes, just kind of fluffy stuff. But I also like it when a comic is actually potentially maybe wanting to say something, a commentary on society or a commentary on something in particular, or, voice something. And and he seems to, most of his stuff seems to kind of come from someplace, and I really enjoy that. So I'm curious to see what goes on with the Wonder Twins here. This is, I believe, a 6-issue miniseries. I want to say, it doesn't say that it is, but I don't believe it's an ongoing. I think it is 6 issues. The Wonder Twins, famously from the Super Friends, and Gleek's back there, the monkey is back there. Wonder Twins, form of a blah blah blah, shape of a blah blah blah. Stuff. It's a high school drama, so it's probably not MB No Wonder Comics, so it's a younger comic, I believe. So may not be directed straight at me, but I'm curious to see what he has to say with this delivering a comic book to, say, a 13 to 16-year-old person. What is that? Anyway, talked long enough. Thanks for listening, and I will see you this weekend, Saturday at I want to say 6:30ish Pacific Standard Time. Might be a little later than that. I seem to be able to make it here by 6:30, but sometimes that's a struggle for everybody else. All my other West Coast friends. Anyway, see you then. Have a great weekend.